Howdy Indie Warriors, and welcome to I Dream of Indie Games. My name is Old Gamer Joe, and it's time once again to go over all of the exciting upcoming indie game releases for the week of September 9th through the 13th of 2024. This week has plenty of games for everyone, so strap in because it's gonna be a hell of a ride. Thank you for supporting independent content here at the channel. Be sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel if you love indie games as much as we do. Alright, let's hop right into those indies. Kicking off our week is the hilarious looking What the Car? This title comes to us from Triband, a studio based out of Denmark that uses comedy in their games to great effect. Maybe you've even played What the Golf? This go around you'll control a zany cartoonish car as it travels roads and avoids obstacles along the way. You might have giant wobbly tires to contend with, or maybe your car is sick and can't drive so well. The arcade action of this title was well received when it first released for Apple Arcade, so it's great that PC players will now get an opportunity to enjoy the insanity when What the Car comes to Steam on the 9th. Do you love trains? Well, if you do happen to enjoy them and video games, it's possible you've already played Railroad Corporation and have been eagerly anticipating its sequel. Well, good news for you, as Railroad Corporation 2 will be hitting early access also on the 9th. You'll be in charge of just about everything here, from the hiring process, the laying the tracks, and of course, balancing the budget in this tycoon title that looks deep and addicting. The game will feature a full-on campaign mode, online multiplayer, a co-op mode, and even a sandbox to play in. Maybe visual novels are more your style. Well, then how about the eerie-looking OBSCURA, which will be hitting early access this week as well. This will be the first chapter of a bigger tale, with players able to name their own protagonists and decide which mask they'll wear. The script will be very dark, so fair warning, and choices are on a timer, so you'll need to act quickly in some cases. From a thief to a priest, the characters will be diverse, with the story revolving around a dark marketplace that lures in the desperate. Be sure to check it out if you need another visual novel in your life. I think it's safe to say spooky season is underway, right? Why not start it in September with Backrooms Media launching on the 10th? This disturbing title is built around multiplayer co-op as you explore creepy, lonely spaces and solve puzzles together with friends. You'll come equipped with a body cam and need to rely on proximity voice chat if you hope to survive. And for you level creators out there, the game also features a full level editor for replayability. After a short delay, the insane-looking sandbox FPS, I Am Your Beast, will finally be launching on PC. This revenge tale tosses you into the middle of nowhere as you run for your life in the wilderness. Play as Agent Harding, who has come out of retirement for one final gig, and revel in the violence of crazy headshots, a full campaign featuring over 20 levels, tons of weapons, and a wonderful comic book style art. Let's just hope it actually comes out this time. We've been burned on this show before. Moving right along, we next have what almost looks like a fantasy beat-em-up to me, and it's going to be on Game Pass too, day one. Towerborne has you battling back monsters, controlling Ace alongside spirit companions. This comes from the team responsible for the Banner Saga trilogy, which was known for its great art style, and that seems to have carried over to Towerborne. You and up to 3 others will battle enemies together, take on epic quests, and save the world. Maybe. Honestly, this game looks great, though perhaps falls more in the AA category with that extra Microsoft money involved. Still worth a mention nonetheless, and I'm looking forward to giving it a spin.
And push back the threat of the curse. Only an ace has what it takes to save our people. And when we team up, armed with unique and powerful weapons, we make the greatest discoveries. In a world full of surprises, together, we can give our people the hope we need to survive.
Changing things up a bit is the adorable critter Cove, hitting early access on the 10th. This open world life sim has you bringing life once again to a former town while hunting, sailing, crafting, and attracting new visitors. The goal of the game is to get as high of a tourist rating as possible. Build those relationships, gather those relics, and create a character to your liking in this ambitious little critter of a game.
Salvage forgotten treasures, explore the ruins of times before, and recruit new residents to help along the way. Use what you find to craft new homes, stores, even tools to help on your adventures. You can help put us back on the map and return Critter Cove to its former glory. We'll see you on the island.
Mega Man fans, Elsie looks to be a loving tribute to the Blue Bomber within a roguelike structure. This action platformer seeks to deliver great combat, tons of upgrades, a hub town which you can expand upon, and epic boss battles. Coming to us from Platonic Friends, Elsie will have you looping through levels, slowly progressing towards the end of the game. If you love roguelikes and were a fan of the Mega Man series, this might be worth paying attention to.
September 10th.
Are you ready for the 4 Hunters of the Apocalypse? In the world of Immortal Hunters, God is no longer present and things are heading in the wrong direction. This beat-em-up style RPG obviously won't be shying away from religious aspects, and the action looks pretty decent to me, someone who loves a good turn-your-brain-off brawler. Let's see how everything comes together when it launches this week. Take control of Emi Kimura and hack your way through a shady corporation in Yars Rising. Based on the Atari classic Yars Revenge, Yars Rising will pay tribute to the original game while adding hacking mechanics, a nice dosage of stealth, and an intense sci-fi story. WayForward looks to have done a wonderful job on the art with this release, and it will all come down to how well the platforming and other gameplay elements come together. It looks really promising though, and Atari has definitely done some interesting things with Yars throughout the years, so add this to the list.
Biohack downloaded. Bio as in body? Like my body? Goodbye, you robot.
you a Rugrats fan growing up in the 90s? Maybe you have kids you want to show the series for the first time? Well, Rugrats Adventures in Gameland, based on a Nickelodeon series, looks to pay tribute to both the past and the present. Players can toggle between an old-school 8-bit look or newer HD graphics in this 2D platformer that calls back to the early days of gaming. Swap between Tommy, Chucky, Phil, or Lil in single-player action, or take on the game in co-op with a friend. Just don't run out of milk. This retro title will have a few collectibles for you to nab as well, like Reptar coins, and even boss encounters that should delight fans of the show. They've certainly nailed the look of this one. Let's see if they nail the gameplay. A quick reminder that you can support independent content like this at patreon.com/idreamofindiegames. It goes a long ways to helping us bring a voice to the voiceless ones in gaming, and you'll gain Discord access to the greatest indie gaming community out there, early shows, in fact this very show, very early and ad and sponsor free, along with other great perks. Your new indie gaming community can't wait to meet you. We move on to the 11th now, where we are greeted by an RPG life sim called Mirthwood. This game looks to have everything the genre is known for. You got your farming, the character interactions and relationships, and there's even a little bit of combat in this one too. Watch your crops grow and manage them carefully. Trade those goods and create gear in what looks to be a relaxing little title. Who knows, you may end up falling in love with someone in Mirthwood. How do you feel about crafting, base building, and questing in a dark, disturbing world? Well, if those things sound like something you'd enjoy, REKA is the next game on our list. It's going to be launching on the 12th from Emberstorm Entertainment and Fireshine Games. Here you'll be crafting, you'll be completing quests in this beautiful world, all while playing as a powerful witch. Uncover the secrets of REKA as you explore its enchanted landscapes, build your own cottage, and hopefully this game brews up tons of fun for fans of the genre. It looks kinda witchin'. Get it? Witchin'? Bitchin'? Yeah, you got it, right? Do you like simulation games, RPG mechanics? Is that your style? Well, you probably like food and cooking at the least, right? Either way, you should probably keep an eye on the upcoming title Chef RPG, a perfect combination of gorgeous pixel art, some restaurant management, ingredient hunting, and yes, you'll make a lot of friends. Some might even become more than friends as you can romance over 20 different characters throughout this title while collecting an additional 240 recipes to cook. Now that sounds fun to me. Chef RPG will first start out in early access on the 12th, and it's coming to us from World 2 Studio. We move on to a game that looks rather innovative and unique called Caravan SandWitch. This one will take players on a journey through a sci-fi world in search of a missing loved one. This title is all about exploration and making connections. Players take on the role of a protagonist who drives an upgradable van across a vast and diverse landscape, encountering both challenges and perhaps some opportunities along the way. I'm interested to see how this one comes together and how the sci-fi twist comes into play. Ooh, this is a stacked day. It is getting drilled with indie releases, so I guess it's fitting that we next go to Drillcore, an exciting strategy game that delves into the realm of corporations and their greedy ways. Players are tasked with managing workers, conducting research, and defending against invading aliens. The game offers a unique blend of resource management, tactical decision-making, and thrilling action sequences that should keep players engrossed for hours on end, so long as they're a fan of this genre. Join the Drillcore today!
Save daylight hours and fortify our defenses for any nighttime surprises. Safety first always. After each assignment, we conduct a comprehensive evaluation of our team's performance, driving us to constantly refine our approach and strategy. Should your planet's core unexpectedly explode, survivors can claim a full refund for our services. Now that's what I call a lifetime guarantee.
Yes, horror time! Hollowbody, developed by a small team, is a survival horror game with that focus on puzzles, limited resources, and intense gameplay, citing the early 2000s as inspiration. You'll play as the young woman Mika, who is looking for a missing partner, and one of the distinct features here will be the mix of both fixed and dynamic camera angles, which hopes to add a deeper level of immersion to the game. We'll see, but personally, I love this genre and can't wait to try it. Pretty ambitious too, because they're going to have full voice acting. Nice. Hopefully it's a little better than the old Jill sandwich we got back in the day. Actually, on second thought, let's have terrible voice acting in this game because that just makes more sense. Alright, roguelike shooter fans, we've got a good one for you here, the spiritual successor to Void Bastards. This is FPS title Wild Bastards. This one takes you on an intergalactic adventure where you'll travel between planets, recruit new outlaws, and engage in heart-pounding combat. There's player choice and freedom in this one, as you'll be making a variety of game-changing choices as you meet people along the way. This is going to be a vast game as well, huge to explore. Hopefully the combat comes together, the exploration is fun, and we have a rootin' shootin' good time.
Just Roz is fine. Feeling good about this hand.
Pleasure doing business. Over here, fools.
Let us begin. This should be fun. Lighten that fuse. Force in session.
Back in 2012, you might have referred to this game as AAA, though it never really had the largest of budgets to start with. We're talking about LOLLIPOP Chainsaw. Yes, 2012, long time ago now. This one came from Suda51 and Company. Bit of a shock to see it return with this RePOP edition coming from Drogami Games. This go around, it's going to feature gameplay refinements and a mode that tones down the violence, but fear not, as an original mode will also still be available to preserve the carnage. Juliet Starling and her beheaded boyfriend are back in full 4K, and it's going to be really interesting to see how this game, which I originally loved, holds up all these years later. Next up, we're talking about DeathSprint 66. It comes from developers Sumo Digital and publisher Secret Mode. Also releasing on the 12th, it's going to be an on-foot racer, which is interesting, with a whole lot of violence, lots of obstacles getting in your way. 8-player PvP in this one, folks. And not only do you have to win the race, or at least try to, you have to be entertaining while you do so in order to gain more sponsors. Oh, it's kind of like YouTube life. Traverse the traps and survive for as long as possible in this unique-looking racing experience, and you know Sumo Digital, if anyone, can pull this off. Explore and blast your way through an underwater world in Stardiver, coming to us from Green Planet Games. September 12th release for this one as well. It's kind of reminded me a little bit of old school PC games like Descent, where you have that first person view if you so wish. You can also zoom out and play this game third person, it would appear, and you're just blasting down a bunch of different underwater creatures as you pilot your ship through some pretty precarious situations. The monster designs are looking pretty damn radical, and the planet itself very well detailed for a smaller indie release. There's also crafting in this game and plenty of resources to gather. StormEdge will be the latest roguelike, but it's not trying to be your typical roguelike video game. It's going to demand quick thinking, very strategic planning, and the ability to adapt to unforeseen circumstances. In this title, players are tasked with navigating through treacherous landscapes while battling enemies, avoiding traps, and watching out for storms that spell their certain doom. Let's not ruin all the spooky fun too early, but I'm really happy to see scary games this season already. Edge of Sanity is the next one we're going to be talking about, coming from Vixa Games and Daedalic Entertainment. Launching on that unlucky Friday the 13th, this is a 2D survival horror game. Looks like you were part of a team of scientists in Alaska. You end up coming across some really disturbing creatures the more you explore, and that's really the main premise for this game. Limited resources, trying to survive. All of the usual aspects of this genre seem to be present here. Some really great creepy art too, and you have to manage your crew as well. Keep them in the right headspace. There's resource gathering here, water, all that kind of stuff. Combat can also be approached in a variety of different ways, and there are, of course, some very tough choices to make, so it seems pretty ambitious all around. Alright, I have to admit, I am a little bit of a Funko Pop fan. In fact, I'm looking at a few on my desk right now. I have Amy Winehouse, I have Wednesday Addams, Toucan Sam, Retro Chuck E. Cheese, The Crow. Yeah, it's not a huge collection, but I just love these adorable damn things. And I gotta say, it's really exciting to see that they're going to be making a video game. It's launching on the 13th as well from 1010 Games Funko Fusion. There's going to be over 60 Funko Pops to unlock in this one, and every character is going to feel unique from the last. You also have worlds inspired by The Thing, Chucky, Battlestar Galactica, Jurassic World, and that's just naming a few. The visuals look really nice, the action looks like an absolute blast, and it almost gives off a little bit of a Lego game vibe in some ways. I'm really excited to see how this one comes together. Oh, and it appears Mega Man is here, so yeah, sign me up for Funko Fusion again on the 13th. Woo, that was a lot of indies, folks, and we're not done yet, believe it or not. We're gonna roll that beautiful sizzle reel for you now for all of the other indie games that we missed this week. So be sure to enjoy that, and thank you for supporting independent content here at I Dream of Indie Games. Voice to the voiceless.